So this is a cauliflower mushroom. It's a lot like egg noodles actually. So you can cook it in soup or anything else. Do you cook egg noodles? It's got a little sweeter flavor. They're really delicious. The other thing about these is if you find one of these, make sure you mark it on the GPS because you can go back year after year and get the same one. It'll keep on fruiting. I took a picture of one of mine years ago and I looked at the geotag on the picture, went back there, sure enough, 5 years later, exact same spot, that's that cauliflower mushrooms growing there. So, you know, take a picture, put a waypoint on your GPS, go back there, you'll get them year after year. I'm gonna harvest this one. And this is bear's head tooth, or it's Hercelium. And these are ones you won't want to pass up on. They're like choice mushrooms. They're like a sweet taste, and you can use them in place of seafood. So like crab cakes or anything with crab or seafood, you can replace them with. And actually, I was here earlier. See, it used to be bigger, but I grabbed some. I grabbed some in a different part of the trail too. And actually, I like this stuff so much that I hid it because I didn't want anyone else to find it when I was out here. It's probably just being paranoid because there isn't anyone else out here. But see that? I hid some away. That way, in the return, I could bring it back. So the way you can tell this stuff is it's growing on the trees. So you're not going to find this on the ground at all. It's got to be on a tree. And it's a sweet smell. It's a sweet taste. And it's just one of the best mushrooms out here. This is personally one of my favorite. This cauliflower, Matsutake's king bolete, favorite mushroom. So I am definitely taking this one. It's kind of interesting because these aren't actually a mushroom on their own, but it's a parasite that hosts on a Lobster mushroom. And it happens really fast too, like within a day. It'll turn from like these white mushrooms to this red lobster mushroom. And another thing that happens during that transformation is all the gills underneath, they get fused together like that. And that's one of the best ways you can tell these too. You turn them over. You look and you see all the gills are fused together, you know, and it's this big red mushroom. You know, it's a lobster mushroom. These are ones that are kind of a crisp, you know, they're kind of a crunchy, you know, so you can almost like think of them as almost like a potato or something. You know, you can fry them up just like in butter, kind of like, yeah. And they're really prolific too. If you go into an old growth forest, a lot of times you find big bunches of these, and you could pick, you know, tens of pounds pretty easy. And look at right next to it too. That's a Chanterelle. Bunch of them. Right up there on the hillside. Chanterelles are one of the most popular mushrooms in the Pacific Northwest. You know, just because they're so abundant. They got a really nice taste too. So these are Chanterelle mushrooms. And the best way you can tell, you know, the color, you can tell from the top, but it's not for sure because there's like jack-o'-lanterns, stuff like that. So what you want to do is you want to look underneath them. You see the chanterelles, they don't have real gills. Most mushrooms have really thin strips here. And they don't come down in the stalk. See how these are coming down in the stalk? The other thing is if you look closely, you can see they split and they merge. So this is probably the best way to look for chanterelles, to verify that it's a chanterelle, is you look for these folds in the skin. It's not real gills, it's like a fake gill. Yep, and just make sure they merge. They're stringy too, you know, so you can kind of tell. But these have a really nice, like a velvet texture almost if you cook them, like if you fry them up. You know, that's one of my favorite fall mushroom recipes, is do you fry these up So yeah, it's kind of, but they're kind of like an almost like an apricot, like a fruity taste. People say too. It's not like a mushroom like you're thinking about in the store. These are more like a gourmet mushroom. Yeah, and you can find them all over the Pacific Northwest in the fall time. Alright, so this is another mushroom that people get out here. This is Reshi. So you can see because the top, it's got that maroon color. And if you feel it, see it's actually not hard like the conchs. It's a little bit softer. This is usually used in medicine. Now it is common for people to just consume it for food. But another thing you can do too is you can write your name. See, so that's one way you can tell that it's a Reshi. It's soft enough you can write your name in it. I'll say it like that. So, that's a Reshi.